Lots of teams are in the playoff race. We hear from members of one of them. One player near the top of a couple of all-time lists keeps piling up numbers. We have details, and the league's newest coach tells us what's on his mind. All that and more right now on ECHL Week.
Hi, welcome to ECHL Week. I'm Barry Schickling. Just a little over a month left in the regular season now, and it looks like both conferences are going to have some pretty good playoff races. Today we zero in on one of the teams chasing down an Eastern Conference berth. As it stands now, Jacksonville is on the outside of the playoff picture. Part of that reason is because the team started the season with 2 wins in its first 9 games. But recently, things have changed. They've won 8 of their last 10. The Icemen have the ability to catch one of the teams in front of them, and that's what they'll have to do to make the playoffs. We talked to a couple of the Icemen players to get their thoughts about how the season has changed from the beginning to now.
I think it's just confidence. I mean, beginning of the season, there was a lot of changes made, guys in and out, just the way the league works this year. We sort of solidified what we have in and out of our lineup, and I think just top to bottom, everyone's bought in. We have all confidence right now. We're rolling. So, if anything, I just say it's confidence, and we're just clicking from top to bottom.
Back in December, it was kind of back and forth with a win here, with loss there, and then now we're kind of rolling. We've been able to string, a couple of win streaks together, and I think it's just a combination of playing with confidence. Guys are feeling confident, making plays. Playing as a team, guys are playing for each other, playing for the guy next to you, and we're just clicking. We're getting those bounces that we need.
Both these players talked about their impressions of this team.
The main thing that comes to mind is we try to be hard to play against, especially defensively, top to bottom, forwards, D, and goalie. We try to be good in our D zone, make it hard for opponents to create stuff, and then from there we'll worry about the offense after. But we try to play fast and hard to play against.
I think we're just a hard-nosed, gritty team, but at the same time we have some skill and we're able to make some plays when need be. So I think we play a pretty simple game overall, but like I said, we're able to make those plays, whether it's a nice pass or a backdoor feed or something like that. Kind of more the pretty side of the game, but we're not afraid to go to the net and play physical as well.
Kurdukas says this team is aware of the postseason race, and that's a real goal right now.
I mean, we're competitive. We want to win. So we're looking at the standings. We see where we're at, and we're trying to climb our way back up. Got ourselves in a little hole at the beginning of the season, like you said earlier, but the way where things are going right now, our confidence is sky high, and we're eyeing playoff spot. We're here to win, so that's our end goal.
Kurdukas, who also used to play for Toledo, talks about the keys to success for this season.
I've been playing hockey for 20-something years, and all the good teams that you're on, it's when you get close with your teammates, create that chemistry, create that almost that family bond within the room. So I think once the turnover stops and you start getting everyone close-knit in there, it changes everything, and we're seeing it right now.
Lodermeyer breaks down his thoughts about why he thinks the Icemen are on an upward trend.
It may seem cliche, but I think it's just one day at a time here. Can't look too far ahead. And, when you play 4 games in 5 nights, you got to just simplify things, and especially towards the end of, come Saturday and Sunday, you got to just play simple hockey, and we've been able to do that, so it's created some success for us.
Our new segment today is about a player who's making some history.
An ECHL veteran continues to ascend one of the significant all-time lists. Indy forward Michael Pelech's helper on this goal and last weekend's win over Orlando put the Toronto native alone in 3rd place on the league's all-time assist list. The 2009 Los Angeles Kings draft choice was credited with assist number 391 in his 750th career ECHL game. His 12-year pro career has included suiting up for Ontario, Toledo, Cincinnati, Utah, Norfolk, Reading, Greenville, and this season, both Wheeling and the Fuel. Worth noting, all the other players on this list have been inducted into the ECHL Hall of Fame. And speaking of all-time records, Pelech is also inching higher on the all-time games played list. The 3 who have played more league games than Pelech are also members of the League Hall.
We hear from the league's newest head coach when ECHL Week continues.
First-time buyers make up 35% of U.S. home sales. New buyers can benefit early by working with an experienced, trusted real estate advisor. In the Pacific Northwest, Will Springer is your trusted advisor for buyers and sellers. For a free consultation or to find a real estate agent in your area of the country, contact Will today.
As we reported last week, Mark French has stepped down as coach of the Wheeling Nailers. He hadn't seen his family almost all season as a result of the pandemic and border restrictions. Taking over as interim head coach is a former Nailer player, also the assistant coach at the beginning of this season, Derek Army, and he joins us today. Derek, tell us a little bit about your reaction to all these changes that took place in the last week.
For me, it was just kind of a little bit took me by surprise when he did tell me. So it was one immediately the wheels were like, let's, figuring some things out and digesting it a little bit. But so it was a little bit crazy after that at that point. But 1 year I was a little bit concerned for him, but exciting for sure for my end and for my family. It was an exciting week. A lot going on, that's for sure.
Your title right now is interim head coach. Are you comfortable with that at this point?
It's something that I think I'm confident in myself as well. It's not something, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. I think it's just one from the background I have to some of the experiences I have. It's a situation that I was ready, I felt ready for, and but it's one that we kind of said we'll have a discussion at a later date. Just go in and enjoy it, and do the best you can, and kind of get your feet wet and no better chance to no better opportunity. So for me, it was just focus on now. I don't want to concern myself with that right now. Just kind of enjoying everything and pushing the guys. And for me, the most important thing is just the guys having that vote of trust and confidence, and that's been the case.
Derek, I've got to ask you about your first win as a head coach. It came on Sunday, and Austin Fighton scored the game-winning goal with less than a minute to play. What was that experience like? What was going through your head?
Coming home, it was one that we were just hungry. Guys were hungry to get the W, and I think it was that much more special for myself and Droby to do it at home, and obviously for me to have my wife and son in the building. So it was an exciting day and game, and I thought the guys played really well and really hard, and they sold out. There was a lot of guys blocking shots and whatnot, but when Fight scored, it was definitely a sigh of relief and excitement. It was just it kind of was like a surreal moment.
If you know about U.S. hockey, you probably know about the name Army. Tell us about the family connection there and how that has played into your development as a coach.
Yeah, fortunately for me, I've got a good background in that sense. So I think someone had asked me the other day, some of the lessons you learn, and I think inadvertently I learned a lot growing up, just being whether I was able to learn lessons as a 13-year-old that many coaches have to wait their whole life for. When we were 5 or 6 years old, my brother and I shared a room. We each had bunk beds, and across diagonal, my dad used to cut video at night, while he was with the Capitals. And so I used to always at night, because we'd leave the door open, and I'd go in and jump in bed with my brother, and we'd be sitting perched over this little ledge, and we'd just be watching the late night games. And I don't know if it was destined for us to be coaches, but it was one that certainly we were able to learn a lot from that point of view.
Derek Army, interim head coach of the Wheeling Nailers. Thanks very much for joining us. Best of luck to you and the team the rest of the season.
Thank you, Barry. I really appreciate it. So hopefully the Nailers get rolling here and maybe make some noise.
For those of you who've been hankering for highlights, wait no longer. It's time for the best of the week.
3 categories on Best this week. We start with first goals with new teams. Here's Alan Lesarczyk of Fort Wayne, acquired just prior to the trading deadline. In his first game back with the Comets, he snaps one into the net to help his team in a victory over Wheeling.
Here in the third period.
Another significant trading deadline acquisition was Michael Joly. In his first period with Orlando, he finds the twine, and the Solar Bears go on to a win at Indy. Category 2, game-winning goals. Brody Reed is unsuccessful in his first charge at the net. The second one fares better, and Kansas City posts a win over Wichita. The last second of the third period is good enough for Rapid City's David Quenville to rip this one home in a rush defeat of Tulsa. And another last-second strike, this one in overtime, by Allen's Brett Newman. Tulsa is the victim again. Final category, the goalies. First, the Thunder's Evan Buitenhuis with a glove save against the Mavericks.
What a save there by Buitenhuis!
And we wrap up with Wheeling Shane Sterrett, who stops a Fort Wayne 2-on-1 and looks confident in the process.
Harper, that was sensational!
That wraps up another edition of ECHL Week. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media channels. We can't emphasize that enough. It really helps us out if you do that. And you can keep up to date on everything that's going on throughout the league 24/7. Take care. See you next time.